Hi, I'm Fred. I'm making this video on election day. And I got up and I put on the election and I realized there's all this excitement. We're taking back, we're taking back, we're taking back. Well, who is we? And I had some thoughts about this, and this is something I've been talking about for a good long time. And as you know, I'm real agreeable to self-governance. Not many people can govern themselves, and my own self-governance has been questionable. But I've been talking about this subject for quite some time, and we're taking something back. Well, we're not taking anything back until we pull back some of these regulations and restrictions. So I thought about it and I wrote some stuff down. I'm going to read it to you. And I guess, it's an exciting day today in the news for people who like drama, right? Today's all about drama. There's no results. Nothing's going to change today. No improvement is going to be made today. And so no matter who wins, there's an overriding issue that can't be ignored. I've talked about this now for decades, despite the fact that it falls on deaf ears. No matter who wins, we must focus on deregulation. Winning politicians must be confronted with the real issue, the well-cloaked damage of regulation. Federal regulations, listen to this, federal regulations cost our economy $1.9 trillion each year. That's about $15,000 per household. You don't even realize this hidden tax, do you? Do you realize the hidden tax of regulation? You have your car smogged, all these regulations, whether it's regulations about the transfer of fuel or regulations about the transfer of food or any kind of licenses and authorization and all this stuff. You want to self-govern, we're giving our governors $1.9 trillion to govern us with regulations. This figure of $1.9 trillion is larger than the entire economy of Canada. Since 1995, the regulation freaks have added 114,821 new problems for compliance. That's too many. Forget the distractions you are bombarded with on the news. Every politician should be asked every day, several times a day, what laws or regulations are you going to repeal? And those of you who know me, you know I've been talking about this for as long as you've known me, right? I don't care what you do when you get into, I don't even want to elect people who don't have a repeal agenda. When a guy comes and says, "Hi, look at me, I'm tall, I'm handsome, I have a deep voice." Sir, what regulations or laws are you going to repeal? Well, I'm going to do something about homelessness. No. Never mind the diversions. What laws, we still haven't repealed Prop 47 here in California. I don't know if other states know what that is, but it was put on there to be like a safe school thing, but all it did was let people out of prison and contribute to homelessness. So once again, my conversation about deregulation has fallen year after year on deaf ears. When we had the Muslim president, industry was so arbitrarily regulated that it floundered. In its hesitance to be found out of compliance, everybody choked. The real leaders, the people who produced goods and services, they slowed everything down, right? It had a terrible chilling effect. There was unemployment. There was no increase in the economy. It was terrible. Then Trump came in. He immediately began to deregulate, and the economy boomed. The economy boomed. We became great. Then Biden came in. He immediately began to slam down the regulation hammer, and the economy busted. I don't see how this could be any more clear. Anyway, once he got into office, he immediately issued an executive order that changed the Office of Management and Budget. The Office of Management and Budget, they used to have this. It was an agency that did effective cost-benefit analysis. He changed it into an agency that became a tool to promote regulations. And he wanted it to focus on the Wuhan flu, racial affirmative action, and the lunacy of the exploitation of America to provide money based on unplanned international policies of weather control. Are you as offended as I am? Anyway, I just, all that the ecology thing, it's nothing more than a regulation for theft. It's for wealth theft. That's what it's for. And in the executive order is actually a policy too, and this is in quotes. In the executive order, there is a policy to avoid harmful anti-regulatory or deregulatory effects. That's no joke, folks. That's no joke. This is the policy of the White House, right? They want regulation. They want regulatory. The current White House position is that deregulation is harmful. The more a government creates uncertainty through changes of the business environment, the more business backs off its courage to innovate. If you're not sure what the rules are going to be this time next year, it's hard to start a project because anything can happen, right? What needs to be done is that hopefully the new crop of politicians needs to send deregulation legislation to the president's desk, and when he vetoes it, they broadcast that the president is choking the economy. So this is an effort. That's the strategy. That is how Congress begins to regain its constitutional power, because right now it has ceded its power and authority to the executive. That's why these executive orders are just run off and the country continues, right crashing down the escalator. Right now, the Congress is really just a bunch of, let's not let the censors have a field day. Let's say that they're a little passive. But that is the strategy. That is what is needed if you want to take the country back, or you want to self-govern and you want we the people to have something. The people's house is the Congress. The Congress abdicates its authority to the executive branch. You're going to have constantly increasing regulation. It is only through deregulation the economy will come back and boom back in, and we need, I don't care who's elected, as long as they promote deregulation. And the president needs to be put under fire for destroying the economy. And the deregulation legislation has to be sent there. And it has to be a front page issue all the time. More than most of these other things. I have feelings and I have factual knowledge of lots of these other problems. But right now, you just don't realize 1.9 trillion. Over 100,000 costly regulations. This is a hidden tax. This is stuff you take for granted all day. You don't think about it. It's not on the news. Do you see how important this is and the value of it is? The entire economy of Canada, more than that amount, is being spent here in America just on compliance with regulations. It has got to be backed off. It has got to be minimized and minimized and minimized. And this is, if you want to have self-governance, you want to be we the people, you're not going to be the people as long as the executive has the authority to just impose these hidden taxes, these hidden costs, these terrible fees and fines and everything that they do upon you. So never mind these politicians, certain people are going to win and they're going to be the hero that saves us all. That is not what's going to, not, boy. Deregulation. That's one of the many keys to not only bringing America back to its greatness from only a few years ago, but to actually giving each and every one of us less and less oppression, let a greater voice, an ability to stand stronger and taller and not be confined with constant compliance, constant forcing of compliance. It's a terrible, terrible thing. So I hope you get this. I hope you share this video, and I hope that we can get this message to whoever came in. I don't care if they were an incumbent that's been there 30 years or if it's a brand new person. These politicians have to be confronted with this, and until we do, they're just going to increase the oppression, and they're going to minimize the amount that we can self-govern. So thank you very much. I hope I make myself clear. And right after the election, I'm going to come on with another video with my appraisal of what actually happened in the election. And of course, I'm not talking about, election fraud or voter fraud or anything like that, because we never get to know that. Even though we have overwhelming evidence, it's always ignored. But I have some ideas about the way to move forward, and I want to share them with you. And so I'll speak with you then. Thanks again very much.